Hi, fellow traders. What's happening? Guys, it's the third quarter. Now what? Where do we go from here? So, before we start to move on, we've got to ask ourselves some questions. Did we accomplish the goals that we had for ourselves in the first and second quarter? If we didn't, why not? These questions deserve answers, and they have to be answered before we can move forward. And we owe it to ourselves to be brutally honest. We can't fool ourselves. Sometimes we can, but we know it. And when we tend to fool ourselves, that's when we tend to get ourselves in trouble. So we have to answer these questions honestly. Now, if you were doing what I asked you to do all along, if you were keeping a good journal and you were keeping good notes of your trades and your emotions and things that you were dealing with, that's what that trading journal is for. Not only does it register your trades and track your trading progress, but it's to track your personal progress, because we are transforming ourselves into traders. We're not born traders. We don't come into this already having the skills and everything that we need to be a trader. So we're developing into that. And we're going to go through these ups and downs and go through these challenges. And the things that we learn, these are the things that we need to be writing down. And when we do our reflection on our trades, the things that we felt, the mistakes that we made, the things that we saw, all of these things need to be written down in journals so that we know where we're going and where we're heading. And if we didn't make our goals, we can understand exactly why we didn't make our goal. So I can answer the question, why didn't I get to 25 grand by the end of the second quarter? It's because I didn't manage my risk properly, and I didn't do it 1 week. And it was the most critical week because it was the last week. So I know why I didn't reach my goal. Now, there are other small things that I ran into, but that's a big key. So we have to be brutally honest. Now, I don't know if you guys have read or reading this book or have read it. The one that I shared with you, Can't Hurt Me, by David Goggins. And the subtitle is Master Your Mind and Defy the Odds. If we're going to be successful traders, we're going to have to defy the odds. 95% of all people that start out trying to be day traders fail. It's gone up from 90 to 95%. And we're going to have to defy the odds. So we have to master our mindset. And this is all part of it. And if you read the first chapter, the first challenge was that he challenged you to start a journal and to write down the things that you feel are holding you back, things from your past, things that you're dealing with now. All of these things that should be in your journal as you're going through these trades. You'll be able to identify. But if you got to the second chapter, it talked about something that we do as well. He talked about accountability mirror. How when he started to take responsibility for his actions. And remember, I told you, as a trader, we have to take responsibility, because the only person that you can blame if you're not reaching your goals is you. Are you taking advantage of all the resources that you have? A lot of you guys in the community, you have mentoring time. Have you taken advantage of it? If you haven't, why? And if you have a list of excuses, you need to start knocking them out real quick. I'm here every day in the chat room, practically all day. I take my lunch break. I come back. I'm here on Sunday mornings. I'm here on Wednesday afternoons during the sessions that we do. So I'm here. If you're having trouble, you have questions, I'm here All you got to do is ask. So it's your responsibility. Now, the other thing he talked about in the second chapter and the second challenge was to start an accountability mirror. And we already have that. How many of us have post-it notes and things hanging off of our monitors right now to remind us to watch our share size, to remind us to manage our risk, to remind us to follow our trade plan? Now, we have all of these things to remind us. I have a bearish and bullish, I even have a bearish and bullish pattern chart hanging off my monitor. So we actually have accountability monitors. So we should already be doing that. If we're not, that's something we can easily implement. Now, I know reading this book, some of the language is pretty harsh, but that's reality. That's his reality. That's who he is. And that's what I want to read. I don't want to read stuff that's polished and, cleaned up so that we can palate it better. I want to know the real deal. I want to understand exactly what's happening. So, again, it's all about being honest. It's all about being transparent. And that's what I'm all about. You guys know that. So, going into the third quarter, you need to know if you didn't accomplish everything, you need to know why. And if you're not taking advantage of all the resources, you need to know why. And if you need help getting through this and you're not a member, you need to join us, because that's what we're focusing on. Now, tomorrow, 8:30 a.m., be right back here at YouTube. I'm having the live stream. I can't do it Thursday. Obviously, it's the 4th of July. So I'm doing it this Tuesday, 8:30. So be here tomorrow morning. If you aren't subscribed to the channel, subscribe, and you'll be alerted when I go live. If not, just refresh at 8:30 or a little after 8:30, and I will be here. So I've gotten questions all weekend about 4th of July. I told you the 4th of July is on Thursday. The market is closed. It should be closed Friday as well because of the lack of activity. Now, normally this is the week I take vacation, so I really don't trade much. And as you see, by the way the week started out, you can by the way the week started out, that it's really, really slow. This is the slowest week of the summer. Very few stocks are reporting earnings. There's not a whole lot going on. So, why do it? So this is always a week, but we've done so many vacations this first 6 months of the year. We're kind of taking a break. But this picture you see right here, this is in Charleston. This is in Mount Pleasant on the it just slipped my mind. I'm about to call it the Titanic, but it's not. It's not the Titanic. It's the aircraft carrier that's in Mount Pleasant, and they even made a movie about it. And I've got the movie, and I can't remember the name right now. It'll come to me, but this is where we're gonna go watch the fireworks. This is where we used to go when we were living on peanuts. We would drive down to Charleston, sit on the battery and watch the fireworks over the water. I mean, it's very beautiful. So this is where we're headed. But you guys have asked me about if I'm having a special. Absolutely, I will have one for you guys. It's not gonna last long because you know me, I keep my membership to a minimum so I could get to everybody, answer all your emails in a timely fashion. And when you schedule mentoring, that it's not going to take 2-3 weeks to get to you. So I do keep it small. I don't anticipate selling out. I don't anticipate having that many people come in. And then some people will add on to their subscription they'll take advantage of it, and this will just kick on after their subscription ends. So the special, the annual membership is $2.99, and it's a membership. It's not a subscription. I'm going away from subscriptions and having auto renew stuff. This is an annual membership. And with that membership, you get access to everything. The chat room, all the courses, over 100 videos specifically for members. You get access to the Sunday morning market analysis, and we build our swing trade watch list on on Sundays. And on Wednesdays, we have the education webinars, which now we're doing the roadmap to success. When we start up the classes again, the classes will be on Wednesday, because all of those are going to be updated this year. You get all of that for just the price of a membership. You do not have to buy the classes. They come free. They're all part of it. Everything that I have, you get for free. The only thing you pay extra for is mentoring, one-on-one mentoring if you so choose. So that's a $300 discount off the regular price. And that's, just think of, you don't even have to think about it. You know that's an incredible deal. But that's what we're offering. So if you want to take advantage of it, it will be up sometime this evening. If we do get filled up, it's just going to come down. I'll let you know it's down. But like I said, I doubt it. And if you're already a member, if you want this deal, you can take advantage of it. And this will just get added to the end of whatever subscription you have right now. So you won't lose any time, and you won't be done. All right, so today I was really, really disappointed. And I set myself up for it because I knew what was going to happen. I know when the stock gaps up to this 52-week high, we're going to pull back. Okay, it's not going to hold it. We're going to pull back. How far and how hard remains to be seen, but it's not going to continue to push. You can see here, this is where we made the 52-week high over here. We gapped up, sold off all day. Toward the end of the day, we got bought back up. This day was relatively aggressive. Today, we gapped up. I knew it. I knew it in my heart that we weren't going to hold this gap, but I traded it anyway, and paid the price for it. But it pulled all the way back toward the end of the day, like after 2:30 or so. We started to get bought back up, but not as aggressive as we did here. So I'm going to be curious to tomorrow to see if we can continue this push up, or are we pulling back? I jumped in a swing trade today. We'll talk about it in a minute. And I got in solely based on the market gapping up and me expecting it to continue to hold its gains. But unfortunately, it did not. So the first trade I took today was on WDC. Now here's a 5-minute opening range. I wasn't going to take it because we were so close to the 50. And I probably should have taken it and taken a piece off here. I probably would have got another piece off of this. I'm going to have to take a little bit more risk. Not in terms of my risk management, not in terms of my loss or the money that I'm going to lose, but take a little bit more risk in taking a trade and taking a smaller piece at the first target. That's one of the changes I had to make last year in the summertime. And I've been slow to adapt to that. So I'm going to have to just not let this get into my head. The strategy is, once you break the 5-minute opening range low, you get in. Now I'm waiting a little bit longer so that I don't get trapped. But here, this was really nice because we were under all of this resistance, and this thing set up pretty good. But I waited for it to lose this 50 here, and ended up getting in and took the bait, and I got, slapped out. Eventually it made the move that I was looking for later on in the day. But there's nothing I did wrong getting in here. There's no reason why this should have turned around when it did. It was just one of those things. The trade didn't work. You had people come in and bought it up. And, it is what it is. So I could have easily let this trade piss me off, coming off of 3 red days in a row, coming off of a red week. My first trade out of the gate, when I was patient, waited for the setup to mature, and ended up getting stopped out. I could have, really come unglued, but I didn't. I stuck to my stop. I managed my risk, and I set myself up to be able to take a trade later. And Roku, which was another stock on our watch list, made an awesome breakout, but I didn't take it because it was, really crappy. It was really crappy. And I just waited. It made a solid move up, and then it came all the way back down. So I waited until we came back and we retested the 200. And this is what I was telling you guys in chat. I wasn't going to take it here. I had to wait for it to bounce, come back in, retest this, and fail. And I would get in up under it. And that's exactly what I did. I did have to, hold it through this. This would have taken me out if we had pushed it. But it tested it, and we were making lower highs. So as long as we were making lower highs, holding this wasn't a big deal. I figured eventually we would lose it, and we did it. Got the first target here, missed taking it here. I was getting ready to stop out here, so I took all my orders off. I forgot to put my profit target back in, and we got this big wash candle, and I almost slept it. I would have got it back over here, but you never know. So I had to take profit here, and I was left the last piece on to see if we were going to fade and go red on the day. It got down here and it got aggressively bought back up. This wasn't profit taking. This was somebody aggressively buying, and ended up having to take it off. So not bad. I'm really happy with this. I made twice what I lost on the first trade, which is exactly what we want to see. If I did this every day, I'd be happy. I'd make money. At the end of the week, I'd be green. I'd celebrate that. But you know how that goes. It doesn't always happen that way. But really pleased with this. Like I said, I could have come unglued after the first trade, but I didn't. Stayed engaged, made it happen, and we finished the day green. Now, not as good of a day as we had last Monday, but considering how the rest of the week finished, I'll take it any day. Now, the swing trade I was telling you about, this KR, this was on our watch list, the oversold. We had this huge gap down, and it just got bought up all day Friday. I was expecting it to at least, over the next couple of days, maybe get back up to around 30 before we could tell whether it was actually weak or not. But the market today really crapped this trade out. I'm still holding on to it, but I'm not going to give it as much room as I would have given it today. If the market's rolling over tomorrow and this is looking weak, I'm just going to take it off. If the market looks strong and it looks like we're going to push, I'm going to set my stop again. I'm not going to set it all the way at the low of this candle anymore. I'm going to bump it up a little bit. We'll decide that in the morning based on what the chart looks like, and just kind of go from there. So that was my day today. I guess I'm really happy that I stuck to my rules. I managed my risk. That's one thing I had issues with last week. I let my risk management get out of control, and so I'm really happy with the start. I'm going to keep this focus, not force anything. If nothing's there tomorrow, I'm not going to force it. I'm going to wait, be patient just like I was today, pick my spots, and if the setup doesn't work, oh well, we'll get reset and jump on something else. So you guys have a great night, great evening, and I will catch you first thing in the morning.